Hello, welcome to the Chris Davis Show. I'm your host, Chris Davis, and today we're going to talk about the federal investigation of Bernie Sanders and his wife, Jane Sanders. Now, these two are under federal investigation for bank fraud. The bank fraud is related to Jane Sanders and her time at Burlington College. Jane Sanders, at a certain time, was president of Burlington College, and while she was there, she's accused of making fraudulent claims and assurances while seeking a $10 million real estate deal for Burlington College. The fraudulent claims and assurances that she's accused of making is she could pay back the loan with increased student enrollment and campus donations, but neither of those two happened. So what happened was that the university was $11 million in debt, and what the institution had to do was sell the land that it owned because that was the only asset that it had, and then the university wound up closing. Bernie Sanders is under investigation specifically because he's accused of pressuring the bank to secure the loan for his wife. The person who is responsible for bringing this investigation to light is Vermont campaign chairman Brady Toensing. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that last name, but he's the one who brought it to light, and he stated that all he hopes for is a fair and impartial trial. No one is above the law, no matter how politically connected they are. I find that very ironic, but I'll give you my thoughts on that later. Let's continue on with the story. Now, Bernie Sanders went on CNN's Aaron Burnett out front to defend himself and his wife from the allegations. He stated that this federal investigation is politically motivated. He says that he's very disappointed that public officials who hold office are not only attacked, but their wives and their families are attacked. He says that his wife is the most honest and most trustworthy person that he knows, and that when she came to that institution, it was failing financially and academically, and after she left, it was in better shape than it ever was. Since that interview, two people have come out to criticize Bernie Sanders and his wife. The first one is Republican National Committee Ellie Hockenberry. She stated that Jane Sanders' bank fraud is similar to Bernie Sanders' approach to policy. Big promises without the details on how to make the promise happen, and ignoring critics who say that your policy is physically irresponsible. Another critic that came out is Preet Bharara, a former top federal prosecutor, saying he went to Twitter to criticize Bernie Sanders, stating that all politicians say that investigations of them are politically motivated, no matter what party they're affiliated with. This is the oldest and lamest trick in the book. Bernie Sanders and his wife have gotten a lawyer for the federal investigation, and Bernie Sanders stated that this investigation will prove that his wife did not do any wrongdoing. Now that I've told you all the story, I want to give you my thoughts on it. Let's start off with, is this politically motivated? Is this politically motivated at all? Okay? To me, it is politically motivated. This happened in 2011, the whole bank fraud. It happened in 2011. Why are they waiting until 2016 when Bernie Sanders is running for president to bring this up? Why didn't they deal with it in 2011? Why are we waiting 5 years to deal with bank fraud? So to me, from that perspective, it does look politically motivated. If this is about the law, then we shouldn't be waiting that long. It seems to me that this was to smear his campaign. Another thing I want to talk about is Ellie Hockenberry's comment that Jane Sanders' bank fraud is similar to Bernie Sanders' approach to policy. Uh, Big promises, but with no details on how to accomplish them, and ignoring people who call him physically irresponsible. Is that true? Is that one of the reasons why he lost to Hillary Clinton? Why the DNC undermined him? Critics of Bernie Sanders say that even if he got the nomination and Hillary didn't, he still would have lost to Trump because he wouldn't have support from his own party. The DNC undermined him. He would have been in the same situation as Trump, with support from an extreme left and no support from moderate Democrats, and that he would have lost to Trump because Republicans would have called him socialist, Marxist, communist. They would have attacked him on how he would implement any of his policies, and he still would have lost. But Bernie Sanders supporters come out and say that in the election with Trump and Hillary, half the country didn't vote. And a lot of those people were millennials and progressives who were upset that the DNC undermined Bernie Sanders. And if Bernie Sanders was facing off against Trump in an election, Bernie Sanders would have won because more people would have voted for Bernie Sanders. And between those two ideas, I'm on the fence. I would have to go along with that Bernie Sanders would have lost to Trump anyway, because Bernie Sanders didn't have support from his own party. His own party favored Hillary Clinton over him, and therefore I think that Bernie Sanders would have lost. But that's just my thoughts on it. I've come to that conclusion with all the research and with the email leaks of the DNC. If you read any of those leaks, if you read any of them, they were officials in the DNC were coming up with plans on how to sabotage Bernie Sanders, attacking his religion. Is he Jewish? Or no, he's atheist. Don't vote for him because he's an atheist. Stuff based off of that. So he really didn't have support from the Democratic Party. I believe he would have support from Democrats in 2020, but in 2016 he wouldn't have. They wouldn't have supported his progressive policies. Another thing I want to talk about is Brady Toensing, what he said. All I hope for is a fair and impartial investigation. No one is above the law, no matter how politically connected they are. Alright, if that's what we're all about, then we can't just apply that to Bernie Sanders. We have to apply that rule to Donald Trump. You can't say that to the most popular progressive senator or politician when he's accused of bank fraud, but when the president is doing suspicious things such as the Russia collusion, you don't apply the same standard to him. Just suspicious things that he's done. He told the former FBI director James Comey, I hope you can let this investigation of Michael Flynn go. Asking James Comey for his loyalty, firing James Comey because he was the leader of the Russia investigation. He even admitted that on NBC's Lester Holt. So we have to apply the same standard to everyone. There can't be a double standard. Sean Spicer with these audio-only press briefings, no cameras. Kellyanne Conway on CNN and MSNBC telling Trump critics, wait until we get all the facts, wait until the investigation's complete. There is alternative facts. Excuse me, what are alternative facts? It's stuff like that that makes it unfair. Okay, so if it's about fair and being impartial in investigation, then you have to start applying that rule to everyone. All right, that's all we have for today. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. If you found this informative, please leave a like button and subscribe. And all of you have a great 4th of July weekend.